The sun still rises, and it has work for you to do, my darlings. Your body, this sacred vessel, carries your light. But are you tending its flame with true wisdom? There's a secret to vibrant aging, a truth in what we choose. Stay with me, for the final understanding we'll share is a treasure for your golden years. You won't want to miss this. Shadowed leaves. It is a curious thing, this journey of life, how our needs shift, like the turning of the seasons. What once served us with vigor may later ask for a gentler approach. We learn, if we are wise, to listen to the subtle whispers of our bodies, for they carry profound truths. Consider for a moment the vibrant green of kale, a leaf that has been hailed, and rightly so, in many seasons of life, for its robust nature, its almost defiant strength. It stands proud in the garden, crisp and full of earthly energy, and in our youth or even in vigorous middle age, our bodies might dance with its intensity, breaking it down, drawing forth its myriad gifts. Oh, the power it holds, the vitamins, the minerals, a veritable chorus of vitality. Many of you have embraced it, perhaps in salads, crisp and raw, or blended into morning elixirs, a jolt of green to awaken the senses, and that is good for a time. But as the river of our lives flows onward, as we gather the silver in our hair and the wisdom in our hearts, the very constitution of our being changes. The fires within, they burn differently. They may not rage with the same intensity that once consumed all before them. Instead, they become a steady, warming glow, requiring a different kind of fuel, a more considered offering. And this is where raw kale, in its unbridled, fibrous strength, can become less of a friend and more of a challenge to our precious digestive system, a system that has worked tirelessly for us through decades of sunrises and sunsets. Imagine asking an elder statesman full of wisdom but perhaps a little more delicate in his step to wrestle a young buck. It's a similar kind of mismatch. The very fibers that make kale so wonderfully cleansing can, for a senior body, become a source of discomfort, of bloating, of a quiet rebellion in the gut that speaks in rumbles and unease. And there's another whisper, a caution that comes with this particular leaf when it's taken in its raw state, especially in abundance. It carries compounds, goitrogens they are called, that in some sensitive souls, or when consumed in very large uncooked quantities, can gently, ever so gently, nudge the thyroid out of its delicate balance. Our thyroid, that little butterfly gland in our neck, is a maestro of our metabolism, our energy, our warmth. It deserves the utmost respect and care, particularly as we age. So it isn't that kale is an enemy, not at all. It is simply that its raw power, its untamed essence, might be too much for the quiet grace of an aging system. It is about understanding the conversation between the food and the body, and recognizing when the dialogue needs to shift. We are not diminishing its worth, but rather acknowledging that our ability to engage with that worth changes. It is an act of profound self-respect to recognize this, to say, my body, this faithful servant, deserves kindness, deserves ease. Instead, imagine turning to the gentle embrace of cooked spinach. Now here is a different story, a different kind of green wisdom. Spinach, when it meets the warmth of steam or a gentle sauté, transforms. Its formidable nutrients, the iron, the folate, the vitamin A and K, become more accessible, more readily welcomed by a digestive system that prefers tenderness. The cooking process softens those sturdy fibers, making them far less of a task for our bodies to unravel. It's like a beloved friend who knows just how to speak to you in a voice that soothes and reassures. Think of it, a warm bowl of deeply green, tender spinach, perhaps with a touch of garlic, a whisper of lemon. It is not just food. It is a comfort, a nourishment that sinks deep into the bones, into the spirit. This isn't about deprivation, my dears, not in the least. It is about intelligent substitution, about choosing the path of greatest ease and greatest benefit for the beautiful body that has carried you so far. When we cook spinach, we also reduce its oxalic acid content, which for some can be a concern for kidney stone formation or mineral absorption. The heat works its magic, unlocking the goodness while tempering any potential for harshness. It's a beautiful alchemy, really, this transformation through gentle cooking. It is an act of love, this selection, to choose what will build you up without tearing you down, to choose what will sustain your energy without demanding too much in return. This is the wisdom of the ages, applied to the very plate before you. It is saying yes to vitality, yes to comfort, and yes to the deep, abiding strength that comes from true, gentle nourishment. Let the spinach be a symbol of this loving care, this thoughtful embrace of your well-being, as you continue to walk your path with grace and strength. Grounded wisdom. Now let us turn our minds and hearts to the earth, to those humble gifts that grow beneath the soil, cradled in darkness until they are ready to offer their sustenance. The potato, in its many forms, has been a staple for generations, a food of the people, filling bellies and providing comfort. And there is a certain honesty to a simple potato, isn't there? Yet, as with all things, discernment is key, especially as we honor the changing landscape of our bodies in our later years. Consider the common white potato, particularly when it finds itself transformed by the sizzling heat of a fryer, or when it is consumed in ways that cause our blood sugar to leap and then to fall, like a frantic dance. That is a rhythm our bodies in their wisdom may no longer appreciate. The white potato, especially when stripped of its skin or processed into flakes and fries, can release its sugars into our bloodstream with a surprising swiftness. For a younger, more resilient system, this might be a temporary surge, quickly managed. But for a senior body, one that is perhaps already navigating the complexities of blood sugar balance or seeking to maintain a steady, gentle energy throughout the day, this rapid spike can be a disservice. It can lead to a fleeting high, followed by a wearisome low, leaving one feeling drained, perhaps a little foggy, and even craving more of those quick, unsustainable fixes. It's a cycle, you see, and not always a kind one. We are seeking sustained light, not a flickering flame that gutters and dims. The nutritional profile, too, while offering potassium, can be less dense in other vital nutrients compared to some of its more colorful cousins from the earth. When it becomes a frequent centerpiece, especially in its more processed forms, it can displace other foods that might offer a broader spectrum of nourishment, a more complex harmony of vitamins and minerals. It is not about villainizing this humble tuber, for it has its place, but it is about mindful selection, about asking, what does my body truly need now? What will serve its highest good in this precious season of my life? We must be honest with ourselves. Sometimes, the comfort it offers is more of a fleeting shadow than a lasting warmth. Think of how easily it can be overconsumed, particularly when laden with fats and salts that our hearts and our blood pressure ask us to be wary of. It is a quiet conversation, this dialogue with our plates, but one that has profound implications for our vitality, for the clarity of our minds, and for the song in our hearts. To choose wisely is to choose longevity, not just in years, but in the quality of those years, in the ability to greet each day with a measure of strength and joy. It is about understanding that some paths, while familiar, may no longer lead to the brightest clearing in the woods. But oh my dears, the earth in its generosity offers us such wonderful alternatives, such vibrant expressions of its nurturing power. Let us consider the sweet potato with its sunset hues, its inherent gentle sweetness that speaks of sunshine and rich soil. Here is a root that offers its carbohydrate energy in a more measured, graceful way. Its sugars are released more slowly, more steadily into our system, thanks to its wonderful fiber content. This means no jarring peaks and valleys, but rather a sustained sense of energy, a gentle hum that keeps you going, keeps your mind clear, and your spirit bright. Imagine that, a food that supports your equilibrium, that works in harmony with your body's natural rhythms. That is a true gift. And the color, that beautiful orange, or sometimes even a deep purple, speaks volumes of its nutritional richness. It is brimming with beta-carotene, which our bodies so cleverly convert into vitamin A, a true champion for our eyesight, for our immune system, for the health of our skin that has weathered so many storms and smiles. It is also a wonderful source of vitamin C, of manganese, and of those precious antioxidants that act like loving guardians, protecting our cells from the stresses of daily living. When you bake or steam a sweet potato, its natural sugars caramelize ever so slightly, creating a flavor that is both comforting and deeply satisfying, often requiring little adornment, perhaps a touch of spice, a whisper of cinnamon to enhance its warmth. It is a food that feels like an embrace, wholesome and complete. It fills you, nourishes you, without demanding that your body struggle or strain. This is the kind of wisdom we seek in our choices, foods that are allies, friends to our well-being. To choose a sweet potato is to choose a vibrant, steady flame over a flickering one, to choose deep, resonant nourishment over fleeting satisfaction. It's a simple shift perhaps, but one that can sing a beautiful song of health throughout your being. Golden kernels. There's a sweetness in memory, isn't there? The taste of summer perhaps, a childhood joy, often associated with certain foods that bring a smile to our faces. Corn with its golden kernels often holds such a place in our hearts. We remember it at gatherings, roasted on the cob, or as a comforting addition to a hearty meal, and in its freshest form, plucked straight from the stalk and eaten with reverence for the season, it can indeed be a pleasure. But as our bodies age, as they become more discerning, more sensitive to the nuances of what we ask them to process, our relationship with even cherished foods might need a gentle reevaluation. The journey of wisdom involves looking at things anew with fresh eyes, even those things we have long taken for granted. Consider corn, especially in the forms it most commonly reaches us today, often canned, sometimes creamed with added sugars, or even as a highly processed ingredient in countless other foods. The very structure of the corn kernel, with its cellulose hull, can present a challenge for digestive systems that have, shall we say, seen many seasons and prefer a gentler passage for their nourishment. It can pass through undigested, offering little of its potential bounty and sometimes causing discomfort, a bit of a rumbling protest from within. For some, it can be a source of bloating or gas, a subtle signal from the body that it's struggling to break down this particular offering. And then there is the matter of its sugar content. While it offers fiber, corn, particularly certain varieties or when processed, can have a noticeable impact on blood sugar levels, causing a quicker rise than some other vegetable choices might. For those of us diligently working to maintain a steady, harmonious balance in our blood glucose, this is a factor worthy of careful consideration. It's not that corn is inherently malevolent, my dears. Nature rarely creates with ill intent, but it is about the context, about the form in which we consume it, and about the specific needs of our unique aging bodies. Much of the corn available today has also journeyed far from its ancestral roots, sometimes modified in ways that our systems are not entirely familiar with. And when it's canned, we must also be mindful of added sodium or the syrups it might be preserved in, which add an unnecessary burden to our quest for pure, straightforward nourishment. We are striving for foods that give more than they take, that build up our reserves of vitality rather than asking our bodies to expend precious energy on difficult digestion or managing sharp fluctuations. It is a dance of discernment, learning to choose partners that move with us gracefully rather than those that might cause us to stumble. Now, let your imagination turn to another gift from the earth, one that also carries the hue of sunshine, but offers its blessings in a different, perhaps more tender manner for our seasoned bodies. The humble yet magnificent carrot, especially when it is gently steamed. Ah, the carrot. It is a root of quiet strength, a steadfast friend to our well-being. When steamed, its natural sweetness is enhanced, its texture becomes wonderfully tender, making it exceptionally easy on the digestion. The cooking process also helps to break down its cell walls, making its incredible wealth of nutrients even more accessible to us. Think of that vibrant orange color. It's a beacon, signaling the presence of abundant beta-carotene, that remarkable compound our bodies transform into vitamin A. This is a crucial nutrient for maintaining the clarity of our vision, for keeping our eyes bright as we continue to behold the wonders of this world. It is also vital for a robust immune system, our internal guardian, and for the health of our skin, the canvas upon which our life stories are written. Steamed carrots are not just easy to digest. They are a powerhouse of gentle nutrition. They provide a good measure of fiber, but in a form that is much kinder to a sensitive gut than, say, the tougher fibers of raw corn. This fiber aids in gentle regularity, supports heart health, and helps in maintaining that smooth, steady release of energy we so value. They offer vitamin K, important for bone health, and potassium, which plays a role in healthy blood pressure. And they do all this with a quiet grace, without demanding too much from our digestive fires. A small bowl of steamed carrots, perhaps with a touch of dill or a whisper of ginger, can be a profoundly satisfying and deeply nourishing addition to any meal. It is a simple choice, yet it is an act of profound self-care. It is choosing gentleness, choosing readily available strength, choosing a food that supports the temple of your body with unwavering kindness. This is the art of eating for longevity and joy, finding those treasures that nourish us deeply from the roots up. Tender shoots, life has a way of teaching us subtlety, hasn't it? As the years unfurl, we often find that the grand, boisterous gestures of youth give way to an appreciation for the quiet, the gentle, the things that offer their gifts without fanfare but with profound consistency. This wisdom can and should extend to our choices in nourishment, especially as we navigate our precious silver years. There are certain conveniences in our modern world that, while seemingly helpful, may not always serve our deepest well-being. Consider for a moment canned vegetables, and specifically, something like canned green beans. The allure is understandable. They are quick, they are readily available, they sit patiently on the pantry shelf. But what is the true cost of this convenience to a body that deserves the very best, the most vibrant offerings from the earth? Often, when vegetables like green beans are subjected to the high heat and prolonged processing required for canning, a significant portion of their delicate water-soluble vitamins, like vitamin C and some B vitamins, can be lost. These are the very sparks of vitality that our bodies crave, the nutrients that help to keep our energy bright and our systems humming with health. What remains can be a shadow of the vegetable's former glory, still offering some fiber, yes, but diminished in its nutritional song. And then there is the matter of sodium. So many canned vegetables are packed in a brine that is laden with salt, far more than we would typically add if we were preparing them fresh in our own kitchens. For those of us minding our heart health, striving to maintain healthy blood pressure, this hidden sodium can be a silent saboteur, working against our best efforts. Even the texture can be a telltale sign, often soft, sometimes even mushy, a far cry from the crisp tenderness of a freshly prepared bean. It is not a judgment, my dears, but an observation, an invitation to look closer. We are seeking to fill our temples with life-giving essence, with foods that resonate with vitality. While canned vegetables can certainly play a role in a pinch or when fresh options are scarce, to make them a mainstay, a regular feature on our plates, might be to unknowingly deprive ourselves of the brighter, more potent nourishment that nature intends for us. It is about choosing foods that are as close to their natural state as possible, foods that still pulse with the energy of the sun and the richness of the soil. This discernment, this conscious choosing, is an act of profound self-respect, an affirmation that we are worthy of the best, most wholesome sustenance available to us. It is a quiet revolution we can enact on our own plates, choosing vibrancy over mere convenience. But then there is the pure delight, the elegant simplicity of freshly steamed asparagus. Imagine those slender, graceful spears, their tips kissed with a vibrant green, their texture tender crisp. Here is a vegetable that sings of springtime, of renewal, of sophisticated yet accessible nourishment. Asparagus, when gently steamed, retains so much of its inherent goodness. It is a veritable treasure trove of nutrients that are particularly beneficial as we embrace our seniority. It is one of nature's best sources of folate, a B vitamin that is crucial for heart health, for cell growth and regeneration, and even for maintaining a sharp, clear mind. What a gift that is. It also provides a wonderful array of antioxidants, including glutathione, sometimes called the master antioxidant, which helps to protect our cells from damage and supports our body's natural detoxification processes. Steamed asparagus is also remarkably easy on the digestive system, offering its benefits without causing undue strain. It is a good source of fiber, promoting regularity and a healthy gut, and it provides vitamin K, essential for strong bones and proper blood clotting, as well as vitamin C and vitamin E, further bolstering its antioxidant power. It even has a gentle diuretic effect, which can be helpful in reducing bloating and supporting kidney function. Preparing it is an act of simple grace. A few minutes of steaming is all it takes to bring forth its delicate flavor and optimal texture. A squeeze of lemon, perhaps a drizzle of good olive oil, and you have a dish that is not only profoundly healthful, but also wonderfully elegant. Choosing steamed asparagus over its heavily processed canned counterparts is like choosing a clear, vibrant melody over a muted, distant echo. It is an affirmation of life, a commitment to feeding your body, your mind, and your spirit with the freshest, most life-affirming goodness the earth has to offer. It is a way of saying, I choose vitality, I choose clarity, I choose to nourish this precious life with the best of nature's bounty. My beloveds, this journey through the garden of choices is at its heart a journey of love. It is about loving yourself enough to listen, truly listen, to the wisdom your body holds. It is about honoring the temple that has carried your magnificent spirit through countless sunrises. The earth offers its abundance, its healing, its strength in so many forms. To choose with awareness, with tenderness, with a deep understanding of what truly sustains and uplifts you in these golden years. This is not a restriction, but a glorious freedom. It is the freedom to live with more vitality, more clarity, more joy. Embrace these gentle shifts, these knowing choices, and feel the current of life flow through you, strong and serene. You are worthy of such nourishment. You are worthy of such vibrant well-being. YouTube comment, this wisdom resonates so deeply in my soul. I've been feeling my body ask for gentler things, and this beautiful guidance feels like a loving hand showing the way. Thank you for reminding us that caring for ourselves in our later years is an act of profound grace and strength. Time to rethink my grocery list with a more compassionate heart for my own well-being.